Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about new features introduced in Unreal Media Server 11, and the two new features that we have introduced are live playlist and Timeshift. So I'm going to walk you through the use of live playlist and live Timeshift. So I have here a media server setup, and I got two cameras installed and configured, the RTSP camera and USB camera. Let me quickly show you those cameras. So that's the USB camera. Okay. That's the USB. And that's the RTSP camera. So these cameras are watching me recording this tutorial. They are looking at me from two sides. Okay. So what is a live playlist? Let's create a new live broadcast and select this last option, live playlist. So basically, live playlist is about switching content on the server side, switching the content that goes to the player. You can switch from live to recorded, stream whole virtual folders, switch from one camera to another camera. So let's call the playlist playlist1, and let's add those two cameras, GeoVision and LiveCam, to playlist. GeoVision, add to playlist items, and LiveCam, add to playlist items. Okay. So the items selected in this list will be active for streaming. So let's select GeoVision, and you need to click on Apply Changes or OK. So let's do Apply Changes. Open a player and play live broadcast named Playlist1, because we have just created it. Playlist1. So as you can see, Playlist1 shows the RTSP camera, the GeoVision, because currently it's the active one. Okay. So what happens if the camera goes offline? So normally, if you just open a player and play GeoVision camera, if the camera goes online, the player just stops playing. But this playlist says that when current item is not available, stream a special standby file. So your player will never stop playing. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let me open another player, and I'll show you how I pull the cable out of the RTSP camera. Let's play LiveCam. Okay, it shows the GeoVision camera that currently streams to that player. Okay, let me now pull the network cable out. So I've pulled the network cable out of GeoVision camera, and notice what happens in this player. This player is playing the live playlist. So after a while, in a couple of seconds, it switches to this standby file, and it's gonna stream this standby file, which you can define. You can specify which file is streamed in this situation. It's gonna stream it until the camera comes back online. So let me put the cable back in the camera. Okay, so the cable is back in the camera, and it automatically detects the signal and continues to stream this camera. So that's one use of live playlist, just making sure that your live camera is always, that your player is always streaming something. Okay, so the use of playlist is currently it's in manual control. So in manual control, you decide which item is being streamed to a player now. So let's switch it to a different camera, to a live cam, and you can click on Apply Changes, and it switches to the other camera. So now this is our player. Let's open different players to see that this live playlist can be played by any player that we support. It can be played by Flash player, MPEG transport stream players, set-top boxes. So this is our demo page. Let me create a Flash player. Let me just create a web page that will play this playlist with Flash. So let's copy that. Let's close that. Open this file. I have the test file, so let's paste what we copied from the web page and just replace this with our IP address. Default port 5119, and replace this with the name of our live broadcast, playlist 1. And we can change the size. Well, currently this is HD. This is 720p, so we can put this HD, the size here, but let's leave it like that. Okay. Okay, so let's play the file. Okay, we could remove that. Okay, so now the Flash player plays the same live playlist. Let me put the player here and this player here. Okay, let's switch the item. Put it on this camera. And as you can see, both players switch to the new item. Okay, let's stream this with MPEG Transport Stream Protocol to set-top box or VLC player. So right click, start MPEG-2 Transport Stream Broadcast. So let's do UDP over RTP because we're going to play with VLC player. VLC needs UDP over RTP. When you stream to set-top boxes, you normally don't wrap UDP and RTP. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm just showing you that you can stream the same playlist via different streaming protocols to different players. Okay. So that's what you said. So it streams to VLC, MPEG transport stream. Let's switch it again to the other camera. And you see that all the players are switching. Okay, so that's about live content. You can switch between cameras. Now, what else you can add to live playlist? You can add recorded content and mix it with live, or don't mix it with live. So I have here a folder, virtual folder named movies with some movie trailers, and virtual folder named ads with 2 advertisement videos. Okay, so you can add individual files from the movies folder. Movies Sintel MP4. And you can add the whole virtual folder. Movies. Let's see what happens when we switch to this movie. Apply changes. And it starts, all the players switch to the movie. And it's going to play this movie in a loop mode. Now if we, so let's switch back to the live camera. If we play the movies folder, it's going to play all the files in this folder in a loop mode. So it's going to just run over the folder and play play files one by one. Okay, let's add this ads virtual folder. So I got this ads, and let's add this ads to the one-time play inserts. So these are the items that are going to be played one time, interrupt the current item, and then the control will come back to the current item. So when you click on make active, you don't need to click on apply changes again. So you can see the Geico ad playing, and you can deactivate it at any time. When you deactivate it, the previous item, the movie, starts to play again. Now let's make active. So now the whole virtual folder ads is going to play in the middle of our current item, which is a movie. So let's see. So we have 2 advertisements that are going to play, and all the players will going to show it. And as you can see, we are playing with our player, Flash player, and MPEG-2 transfer stream player. So that's the second advertisement. Now you obviously you want to ask, how does HLS work? Does HLS player switch from one type of content to another? Yes, it does. So let's see how the advertisement finishes. And yes, it goes back to the movie. Okay, so the same playlist, live broadcast, where MPEG-2 transfer stream broadcasting. Let's start HLS. So specify our IP address, the folder, the web folder, click on OK, and let me play the IP camera, GeoVision. It's gonna show you the iPad. So I have the iPad here. Right here, and I'm going to play the same stream through HLS. So I'm going to type 162 162 I got it here. Okay. So as you can see, the iPad plays the same content. So we have 4 players here that play the same playlist through different streaming protocols: UMS, Flash protocol, iPad, HLS protocol, and MPEG-2 transfer stream. Okay, let's insert an advertisement. Okay, I didn't save it, so let's do ads. And you can do individual file, Geico MP4. You can do individual file as well as the folder containing ads. So let's insert the Geico again. So you can see how all the players switch to the Geico advertisement, and of course the iPad has a big latency. So it's gonna switch, but in a few seconds. So now the iPad switched to the Geico advertisement. So all the players are switched to the movie again. The iPad's gonna just take a few seconds. Okay, and now we're all back to the movie. So that's the live playlist. Just allows you to control what is being streamed to all your players So when you stream these movies, you can stream your whole digital library in a live mode, doing by adding it to the live playlist. And of course, at any time, you know, you can go back to live. So the iPod still plays a movie.
What brings you to the land of the gatekeepers?
Now the iPod switched to. Okay. So what else? This is a manual control. You can do the same with scheduled control. So scheduled control, you create a schedule saying which item is active at what time. So let's now is 12:15. Let's add the movies and apply changes. But I've started it from 12:15:44 and it's not 12:15:44 yet. So all our players switch to the standby file, as you can see. Okay, let's close that one, the iPod. So, oh, it starts at 12:16. So very soon, yes, now it starts. Now it's gonna run according to schedule. And also you can, regardless if it's, oh, I'm sorry, regardless if it's manual control or scheduled control, you can insert, insert one-time inserts. Now, one note about the iPod, about the HLS. HLS will switch smoothly to different content if all the codec parameters, all the encoding types of the frame size is all the same across all different items. So otherwise, iPod may not be able to switch smoothly, especially with different audio. So if you have one file encoded with AAC and a different file encoded with MP3, iPod is not going to switch smoothly. All the other players, Flash, Unreal Player, set-top boxes, VLC, will switch smoothly from any different encodings. Okay, so that's the live playlist. Let's go back to manual control, and in manual control GeoVision camera is now active. So we can see that we're all switching to GeoVision. Okay, let me close all players, and now I'm going to talk about Timeshift. Live Timeshift. So let's take this GeoVision camera and do start buffering for time-shifted playback. That activates the time shifting. So now if you will open a player and try to play this camera, it takes about 15 seconds for the buffer to be active. So any player that will be open after 15 seconds, you can see that you can drag this thing and it will bring you back to what happened before. So you can play live and come back to real time by clicking on this small arrow button. Okay, so let's go live. And now coming back, you see what I did before. So now it's 1 minute 32 seconds since I started the buffering. So you have, in this case, 600 seconds, I think, 600 seconds of the time shift. Or is it, okay, let me stop the buffering. And now when it's okay, so now it says broadcast ended because there is no more time shifting active. You can still play a live camera, but there is no time shifting session, so you cannot drag this. So it's just a live view. So let's start again. Okay, it's minutes, 600 minutes. So 10 hours. So you've got 10 hours of live buffer that you can watch. So this can be a soccer game, any event. So you will be able to watch 10 hours of live live content back in time. So this will work in our player and also in Flash player. Let's open this folder again. Okay. Save as. Okay. Modify this to GeoVision. Save as. Okay, test 1. Play test 1. Okay. So you can see that you have this timeline and you can click on the timeline and go back in time. And you can click on live button. By clicking on live button, you go into the real time. So this buffer will grow to 10 hours, 600 minutes. You can specify it when you start the time shift. So this is very useful for video surveillance broadcasting events. Okay, let's do the same in our player. So now we have 2 minutes of live buffer. So I can come back and look for something that I missed. I can also pause. The good thing is, live event, you need to go somewhere, you pause, and come back in 5 minutes, continue watching from the same time. You're not watching from the real time, you're watching from the same time where you left. So it's some time back. Okay. Now, will the Timeshift work with live playlists? Yes, it will. So let's go. Okay, let's close that. Go to playlist. Let's stop buffering for GeoVision. You can do as many live time shifts at the same time as you want. So let's leave it. Let it do buffering. Let's do playlist 1. Start buffering. And you don't have to specify this value. You can change this value. Say 1 hour. Okay, so now it buffers the playlist. Let's see what item is active in the playlist. Playlist, we have, say, let's set it to movies. Okay. Play live broadcast playlist 1. And in our folder, let's play this. So it plays the playlist 1. Since the time shift is activated, it displays this timeline. So you can go back, see what happened back. See, we're now switching from, we're going to be switching from the camera to the movie. So let's pause it, continue from the same time, go live. So do the same with our player. Again, you can pause this, come back later, continue, seek anywhere you want. Now we got about 2 minutes of buffer active. So let's wait until it switches to a different trailer, to another movie. I think it's about 2 minutes. So we are now live here and live here. So Flash player and Unreal player. Now it's gonna switch to a different movie, to a second movie in this folder, which is going to be Rise of Empire. And since it's a time shift, you can go back. Okay, so that's the time shift. Alright, that's the end of this video tutorial. Thanks for watching.